I've always been afraid of the dark, which is ironic because I've been blind most of my life. People think you get used to it, that eventually the fear just goes away. It doesn't. You just learn how to live with it. For me, it was easier because I wasn't alone. My husband was always there. He was my eyes, my comfort, my safety. When he was home, I could breathe. So when he left for a business trip, for the first time ever, I was completely alone, and I was terrified. I tried to act normal. I followed my routine. Cooking, cleaning, audiobooks, anything to make the silence feel less heavy. And every night, I'd go to bed and curl up next to his pillow, pretending he was still there. It helped, until one night, something changed. I woke up suddenly. No sound, no reason, just a feeling. When you can't see, you notice things other people don't. The air felt different, too still, too quiet, like something was in the room with me, holding its breath. And follow for part 2. I told myself I was imagining it. I always do, because when you can't see, your mind becomes the thing you're constantly arguing with. You learn to question yourself more than you trust yourself. So I stayed still, completely still, listening. In the dark, silence isn't really silence, it's layered. Every tiny sound stands out. Every shift in air, every creak in the house, every breath you take feels louder than it should. I focused on my breathing, slow and steady, trying to convince my body to calm down before it gave me away. But it didn't pass. That feeling didn't fade like normal fear does. It grew. Heavier. Closer. Like the air in the room was changing density. Like something had stepped into it. Something that didn't belong there. I remember thinking maybe I was just exhausted. Maybe I was half asleep. But then I felt it pressure in the space beside the bed. Not touching me, not speaking, just there, close enough that I wasn't alone anymore. I didn't want to move, but I also couldn't stay frozen forever. So I reached out slowly toward my husband's pillow. It was the one thing that always made me feel safe when he wasn't home. Something familiar, something real. My fingers brushed it, and instantly I knew something was wrong. It wasn't soft like fabric. It wasn't warm. It felt cold, slightly damp, almost textured in a way I couldn't place. My stomach dropped immediately. I froze, my hand still resting on it, trying to understand what I was touching. And then it moved. Not much. Just enough. Enough for me to know it wasn't an object. It was something alive. Do you want a part 3? I pulled my hand back so fast I nearly fell off the bed. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was shaking my entire body. Like it was the only thing I could hear. For a moment, everything else disappeared. But then I realized something worse. I didn't need sight to know I wasn't alone. I could feel it. Something was in the room with me. Close. Too close. The air itself felt different, like it was being shared with something else. Something breathing. Slow. Controlled. Not rushed. Not scared. Just there. Waiting. And that's what made it worse. Whatever it was, it wasn't reacting to me. It was observing me. I don't know how long I stayed frozen like that before instinct took over. I got up. Fast. Hands out in front of me, trying to find a door I knew by memory. I had walked that path 1,000 times, but now it felt wrong. Off. Like something in the room had shifted just enough to disorient me. Behind me, I heard it move. Heavy footsteps hitting the floor. Not rushing. Not panicking. Just following. Steady. Measured. Like it already knew exactly where I was going. Like it didn't need to chase me at all. That realization hit harder than anything else, because it meant I wasn't escaping. I was being guided. Part 4's next. I tripped before I even made it halfway across the room. My body hit the floor hard, the impact knocking the air out of me. I scrambled immediately, trying to crawl, trying to find any direction that wasn't toward it. My hands dragged across the floor, desperate, frantic. And then I felt it, right behind me. So close I didn't need confirmation anymore. The air around me changed again, heavier, warmer, wrong. I could feel its presence leaning in, close enough that I could sense its breath on my skin. I froze completely. Every instinct screamed at me to move, but I knew if I did, it would end. And then I heard it. Jenny. My entire body locked. That voice, my husband's voice. Soft. Familiar. Perfectly timed. Relief hit me so fast it almost broke me. I turned toward it immediately, my hands reaching out, desperate. I'm here, I tried to say, but my voice shook. I pushed myself up, stumbling forward, toward the sound, toward safety, toward him. But the closer I got, the more something felt off. The tone wasn't quite right. The rhythm wasn't right. It sounded like him but stretched, forced, like something imitating memory rather than truth. Final part is after this. Jenny. It said my name again, closer this time. I stopped moving because now I understood something I didn't want to understand. My husband wasn't here. He couldn't be. And whatever was in this room with me knew that. It wasn't just making sounds anymore, it was studying them, refining them, using memory like a tool. Like it had heard my husband before and was now trying to become him piece by piece. The voice wasn't perfect yet, but it was getting closer. My breath got shallow as I slowly stepped back. Then another step. I didn't answer it. I didn't speak. I didn't want it learning me any more than it already had. Silence felt like the only control I had left. For a moment, everything went still again. And then I felt it shift not behind me, but in front of me, blocking me, cutting off the space I was moving toward like it already knew my next move before I made it. That's when it hit me fully. I wasn't being chased. I was being contained. Every step I took, every sound I made, every pause I held, it was learning the shape of me in the dark, and it was done waiting. I turned and ran anyway. No plan, no direction. Just pure instinct screaming at me to move. But this time it moved too fast. No hesitation, no slow stalking anymore. Just pursuit. Every step behind me landed harder, closer. Like the distance between us didn't really matter. Like it was folding the space in between us. I could hear it now right behind me, so close I could feel it in the air. Then I tripped hard. My body slammed into the floor, and before I could even push myself up, something grabbed me sharp, violent. Pain exploded through my back as I screamed. It didn't just pull me. It dragged me like I weighed nothing. I kicked. I fought. I tried to crawl, to twist, to get away from whatever had me. But it was too strong, too precise, too certain. And as it held me there, I realized something terrifying in the last seconds. I had left. It wasn't guessing anymore. It knew exactly where I was and exactly how to end it. Because being blind didn't make the dark scarier. It just meant I never saw what was already waiting inside it. We hope you enjoyed. Comment for more stories like this.